We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry... Can I start and then you harmonise with me?
Okay.
Hey YouTube, my name's Brad.
I'm Ronnie.
And today we're going to be talking everything cancer and Christmas.
Hi guys, today we're talking about having cancer over Christmas time. So Bradley, were you diagnosed before Christmas or were you having treatment?
It's a bit of a weird one actually. So I wasn't diagnosed at Christmas, but I relapsed in August 2017. And the process from there was to find me a donor. So throughout September and October, my consultant was trying to find me a donor. They secured one, but unfortunately he had suffered a heart attack. So he couldn't.
How dare he?
How dare he? How very dare he? But I mean, he's alive, he's fine.
Oh, that's good.
So he couldn't be my donor, so that meant I had to wait a little bit longer. So the date for my bone marrow transplant kept getting pushed back and back. It was meant to be the beginning of December. So there was a very real possibility that I would have had to have spent time in hospital. But in the end, it was actually the beginning of January. But that meant that Christmas, even though I got it to spend it with my parents and at home with my family, which I really loved, there was this black cloud just hanging over the festivities. And we were all very honest about how we were feeling. We were very apprehensive about what was to come. So we were very open, but you could still tell that, like, my mum and dad, that's all they were thinking about, even when they were trying to be happy and celebrative. They were just thinking about that, and I was trying to forget about it, but just thinking that I'd like to reflect at Christmas time, like the year that's gone and the year ahead, and get excited for it, and New Year as well, and be like, oh, like, what's happened? Absolutely, like, what's happened this year? Like, it's been good. Like, what would I do differently? And what can I expect? And when I did that, it was probably a little bit of a mistake, because it was just negativity. Like, halfway through the year, it just was going downhill. And then looking forward, it was like, oh, well, I have to have a bone marrow transplant in January. And even though it was going to be a success, there was no doubt that it would have been a success, but there's always that doubt that it might not be. And so it was just like, where will I be this time next year? And just, there was so many thoughts, and it was quite difficult to process. But I mean, I'm very grateful for the fact that I wasn't in hospital, and I am aware that people do spend time in hospital at Christmas time. But I remember saying this to my consultant, and she was like, oh, don't be silly. Like, she said, she validated the way I felt, but she was like, but just think that you're going to because of this transplant, you're going to have many more Christmases, and you will be able to enjoy them. So this is just one Christmas out of many. And when she put it that way, I know it sounds really simple, but when she put it that way, it was actually like, oh yeah, that's a reality check. Christmas, it doesn't matter. Like, we'll find a way to enjoy Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
No, you don't. The main issue I had was that I didn't want anyone to know that I was ill. I didn't want my family to be worrying about me. I didn't want them to think that I was, that I had the cancer label. And so I tried to keep it as secret as I could. And that was quite hard on my mum, because she probably needed a support network, and it caused a bit of conflict, because I really didn't want her to tell people. And obviously your family, they probably want to know, they probably should know. So at Christmas time, especially, like, everyone wants to be there for each other. But if anything, it did make me more aware of how much you should just enjoy the moment and enjoy Christmas.
Absolutely.
And enjoy being with your family, and don't isolate yourself if you had anything similar to what I had, which was trying to keep it all internal and almost in denial. With hindsight, I would have been a lot more supported and better off if I had just spoken and been open with people. But I just didn't want that sympathy card, Sure,
and
I wanted just to carry on like normal. So that was the kind of main thing for me. But I had my operation after Christmas in the new year. So I suppose I still had quite a lot of that anxiety bubbling away in the build-up. And similar to you, everyone else is making New Year's resolutions about, I don't know, losing weight or something. And I was just sort of thinking, I just want my operation to go okay.
I just want to be alive.
But it kind of makes you so much more appreciative, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Of those special moments at Christmas time and who's important and what's important.
Yeah, and if anything, I really related to the Christmas message. Like, it's like it's about giving, like not receiving, and like sharing that message of love, and so it was a beautiful Christmas in the end, but it was still difficult, but it means that I can have many more Christmases. So and I'm grateful for that. Okay, so to recap, I suppose my advice is, well actually it's the advice of my consultant really, is that you're in hospital to get better, to make sure that you can have many more Christmases ahead.
And my advice is to not isolate yourself, share what you're going through with everyone around you because they love you and they care for you.
So a quick message to those of you who are spending time this Christmas in hospital.
Or you're going through treatment or you've just been diagnosed.
We just wanted to let you know that the way you're feeling is perfectly natural.
And that you're not alone.
Absolutely. We wish you all the best and a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I can harmonise.
Rocking around the Christmas tree and... Oh, I don't know the words. I don't know the words.